It was a black rock the shape of a horn. And this horn-shaped rock was attached to a necklace dangling around Bundit's 16-year-old neck. Then he took it and stretched it over his chubby and oily face, turning it into a literal horn. That's all Jane was telling me in our temple's office when Bundit took notice. Jane, 15, was unknown then, but obvious later, a much-needed friend who saved me, then 13, from what could have been the dangers of an even more outcast and lonely childhood. Now, perhaps I'm being dramatic, but who knows what kind of crazy I and the world were saved from, when instead of wondering wonderings by myself, Jane and her little sister June introduced me to playing squash the watermelon, setting fires in garbage cans, and shoplifting at Kmart while we ditched Thai summer school. Rumor had it my penchant for stealing cassette singles had led to a grainy picture of me in Kmart's security office. My father tilted his head to the confused left when my Thai teacher told him that I was a horrible child. Annie, he asked my sister, is she talking about you? No, I thought to myself, Daddy, I'm a bad boy now. But back in the office, Bundit narrowed his eyes in on me. Are you talking about me? Yeah, Jane replied, we're talking about you. No, Bundit said. I want to hear this from Archie. I shook from the inside. As a kid, I lived in fear of older males, and I knew that at any time they could hurt me, inside or out. I avoided them and had only sat near Bundit and his friend Bob because I thought the presence of Jane would tame them. We were talking about how, like, your necklace, when you pull it over your face, it kind of looks like a horn. Well, Archie, do you know what everybody says about you? As if I didn't know. As if I had no clue that I was our temple's faggot. Bob joined into the conversation. Just tell me something, Archie. Just tell me you're straight. I began to nod my head furiously, and even Bob said, see, Bundit, Archie is nodding his head furiously. So you like girls, Bundit said? You want pussy? I continued to nod my head. You're a fucking liar, Bundit said. You would suck my dick right now if I let you. I didn't realize I should stop nodding my head. And the boys broke out in laughter so loud the monks had to tell them to shush. Jane told them they were disgusting and grabbed me by the arm because I was just going to keep sitting there, and she was smart, like Darlene from Roseanne. So she let us out of the room, and we headed towards the park adjacent to the temple. Her little sister June joined us and told me Bundit and Bob were jerks, but I was like, I already knew that. I just felt so stupid for allowing myself to get within their range. Once in the park, we set a garbage can parallel to the ground and started with some newspaper. It is much harder to start a fire than you'd think, but we had a nice flame going. I was holding an empty McDonald's bag, ready for it to be engulfed by flames, when my father pulled up in our beige Cadillac. Archie, what are you doing? Get in the car right now! But realizing he couldn't just leave Jane and June alone in the park with a lit garbage can, he switched off the ignition and strode towards us. What you guys are doing is very bad, very dangerous. What happens if the whole park catches on fire? What if the temple catches on fire and people die? What will happen if you have to live with that guilt for the rest of your life? I thought to myself, what if only Bundit and Bob died? I think that would be okay. The summer before, during the first day of Thai summer school, Danny Sudi walked into my classroom and I fell in love. He had floppy hair. He wore clothes from Pacific Sunwear. And he had a skateboard. Within 2 weeks, I had persuaded my mom that I needed a new wardrobe. I started listening to Nirvana, and Danny was teaching me how to skateboard in the temple's parking lot. I might have been 12, but I definitely had game. While I was a failure at skateboarding, my friendship with Danny developed over Street Fighter II. See, Danny was always Ryu, and I was always Chun-Li. And for every Shahrukh he would send it to my chest, I would lift my skirt and pummel him with a round of tornado kicks. We were so good at Street Fighter 2. We were so good that when Danny's parents held a secret Santa party for the temple's kids, I, as Chun-Li, beat Bob, Bundit, and all his underlings for several rounds. Bundit chewed on that horn-shaped rock and sent a bowl of popcorn flying. I was relieved when Danny finally beat me and I gave up my controller. An hour later, it was time for my first secret Santa. I was so excited. I ran up to the tree, I grabbed the present, I opened the card, and fuck. My name had been scratched out and the word fag written instead. Someone was trying to break me in front of everyone. I crumpled the card and pushed it deep into my pocket. I opened my present and pretended to be delighted by a bottle of CK1. A couple months later, Danny and I were walking out of the men's bathroom at Temple while Bundit and Bob were walking in. Oh look, it's Danny and his girlfriend. I blinked, but Danny opened his mouth. You guys are stupid. Danny, Bundit started, you're stupid if you can't see that Archie is in love with you. Look at him. He dresses like you, he's got your shoes on. He's wanted you from the day you got here. Archie has a girlfriend, Danny countered, and it was true. I had a girlfriend named Susan at school, who I never talked to, but I had kissed one time. I don't care if Archie has a girlfriend, Bundy continued. He is in love with you, and since you don't seem to fucking mind, you must be a faggot too. We walked off that day, but after that, Danny knew the truth, that I was in love with him. By the time summer school came around again, Bundit was dating Danny's sister, and when Danny walked into our classroom, he sat on the other side of the room. During break, he was doing handshakes and other dude things with Bundit and Bob. He became one of their underlings, and even he ignored me when I scored the winning goal for our temple's annual boys soccer tournament. Nobody on our team acknowledged my winning goal. I almost thought it hadn't happened until Jane and June ran up with smiles and asked, "Who the fuck are you?" That was almost 20 years ago. About 10 years ago, I befriended Danny on Facebook because, I get it. And also, I find it hard to stay mad at sexy people. And once in a while, when Thai people gather, I'll run into Bundit and Bob. They look old. They have dad hair and pot bellies. They drive overpriced sedans and look perpetually ready to play golf. And I know I'm supposed to be a bigger person and reply with actual words when they ask me how I am, but I don't want to. I don't want to until they say, "Oh hey, by the way, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if something I did or said when you were young shredded your soul into slivers." Because I have a great gift for them. Something it took me years to unwrap and rewrap, and something I didn't even know that I needed too. Forgiveness. If only they ask. Thank you.